Erica, hold on. Is it on? Noise suppress enabled. I want it disabled. Where are you at, Jelly Bean? Okay, so it says that you're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and then turn on your camera. I know you can hear me. I can't hear you yet, though. It's all down on the bottom. There you go. You got the mute. And then go ahead and do the camera one. Oh, we got it.
Okay. Good. Hi.
Yes. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm good.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I am. I was considering skipping this.
Why?
I was just so nervous. If it's- Yeah, I was really nervous. I was gonna skip it.
Oh, well, it's okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Believe me, some people do. They email me and they're like, "I'm so sorry. I thought I was going to throw up." I was like, "It's okay. I'll reschedule you." Okay, it has happened. And I also have people that there was this one time I had this woman we got into the session and I was wondering why her internet was so bad and she was wearing a hospital gown. She had just had surgery that morning and she was in her hospital gown and she's like, "I couldn't miss it. I couldn't miss it." I was like, "Let me reschedule you. Chill." So we did. We moved her to like a week later, but yeah, believe I've seen everything. Well, I will. Let me tell you, we have 30 minutes, and let me go ahead and close this and close that. There we go. And I'm going to kind of like just walk you through and tell you how this works.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to be very very simple. We're going to make it very safe. So number one, so somebody's already talking in my head. Hold on. They're essentially garbage. What do you mean by that? They're saying they're like I said, "Oh, you're talking in my head." They're like, "Oh, heck yeah," or "Hell yeah, I'm talking in your head." They're like, what is what is that garbage? Like, not gonna be here, not gonna be here. What do you mean? What do you mean? So they're like joking with you about like saying that you're going to skip it, essentially. So let
Yeah.
me tell you how they do this. I know. So when they do this, what do? They come through because they love you. They're connected to you, okay? And you can talk to them too. Anybody can do this. It's just nobody has ever A taught you how to do it. Okay. And B, a lot of times people that talk about it, they try to make it scary. It's not. There's nothing scary about it. And so when they do come in, they come in on your love, on your devotion, and your thoughts and emotions. But when they show up, we're saying, "Hey, I want you to come through. I love you so much. I want you to hop in Amy's brain, and I want you to play with it, and I want you to use it like a computer." That's what they do. So when they talk, how do they talk? Well, firstly, like I said, they come in because of your energy, but they're going to have to figure out how to use my head. They are literally having to figure out how to make me understand their life and your life through my own experiences and things that I've seen and felt and done. Okay. So when they talk, how do they talk? The first way that they will come in is they will give me all these signs and symbols. I have like 10,000 of them at least, and they all have a meaning to them. So if they show me something like a pineapple, that means that they're from Florida. If they show me something like a blueberry, that means they're from Maine. You know, there's all these different symbols. And so essentially they can show me something like a pineapple, a palm tree, and a blueberry. And I'm like, "Oh, so did they end up like, going from Florida and they went over to California and finally they settled in Maine?" And you're like, "Yeah." Symbols. Okay. The next thing is that they will talk in feelings. This is mainly how they communicate. So they'll make me feel like what it was like for me to love my dad when he was here. And I'll be like, "Oh, there's like a loving father energy here," right? Or even something like what it was like to lose my dog in 2016. And I'll be like, "Did you lose a dog in 2016?" That's how I come up with those sentences. The last two ways are that they will try to put me in situations that could have happened to you, could have happened to them, or will happen to you. The only issue personally here for me is that I'm from Houston, Texas. I currently live in the middle of freaking nowhere on the Louisiana Texas border. I don't believe in snow. I've never been up to like any of the northern states, so like Kansas it up. I don't have a good like thought process on it. And so if you ask me something like, "Amie, what did my neighborhood look like in Delaware?" I don't know. I know they don't have any taxes. The shopping supposedly is great, but I have no idea what it looks like unless it's on the
Yeah.
coin with like George Washington going across it. So I won't be able to answer that. But if I've seen it on a YouTube video, if I've seen it in a movie, or if I had another client experience, they'll bring all that up to try to talk about it. Okay. And then the last thing is that they will just talk in words. sometimes they get so good that they know how to essentially use my brain as a word bank. And so
Oh,
that's kind of what's happening. But all together, they say all of them all at the same time. And I look like a fucking deer in headlights. And I got to figure out what they're trying to say. Okay. And so when I go like this, when I say, hey, does this make sense? And you say, yes, that's what I need. Because, or no, just give me clarification. Because when they do that and I tell you this, I'm like, oh my God, did she understand this? Did I decode it correctly? Did she get it? Like, that's
okay.
essentially what. Okay. So just stay with me. Where'd my pen go? Last thing. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have a pen. All I do is scribble.
Okay.
That's it. The whole thing. Okay. I get anxiety when I channel. It makes it go away. Okay. Come on. Come on. This person is funny. They are slightly impatient, but they're saying it's not too bad. I'm talking, and he's like, "Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on," and he's like, "Do you think I'm being too hard?" I'm like, "No." I said, "Obviously, you're not from the South," because he's talking about how he's not as he doesn't have the couth. Wait, hold on. He's telling me I'm using a fancy word. Hold on, give me a second. What? He's talking about hanging. He says, "Give me a beer." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He just wants to like pal around and I guess just like hang out with you and
Yeah.
relax. He feels like a dad's dad. He's like, "Give me a beer and let me hang out with my daughter." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we'll do that." And he's talking about sitting there with you. He says that what? Hold on. Oh, so he is only like just a few inches taller than you, if any.
Yeah. Yes, he wasn't
Yeah.
he was a short guy, yeah.
Yeah, he comes up and you saw me do that. So he's making me feel you giving him a hug. So he
Yeah.
has me being in your place. And I said, "What is this?" He goes, "Oh, well, wouldn't you know?" And then he puts himself here and he says, "I'm just like maybe that much taller than her." And it's funny because then
Yeah.
he turns himself into a really big guy, like 6'5", and he's like, and I'm like, "That's not you."
He had a big personality. He was a
I,
big personality.
yeah, I know. That's what he's talking about. He says burly. What? You're not an animal. What do you mean? He said he had a little hair on his shoulders, and I said, "Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
nice to know."
I used to shave his back for him.
Shut up! Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's making me feel what that feels like, and I was like, "Oh, interesting. You don't strike me as being a hairy guy." And he's like, "Well, I am." I go, "Okay." He says, "So these are like the fun facts." He's gonna try to bring up. I have a cat hair on my nose somewhere, so I'm sorry if I keep itching it. He's talking about how what? What do you mean, fucking cat? What do you mean? Oh, was there like a garage cat or something? Did you have one like sleuthing around a garage? Do you have any idea? What is that?
Yeah, so we have stray cats that come to our house, and we took one in, and he's like my little baby. He's my best friend.
He
He's a naughty
is.
little cat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He goes like, so I talked about the cat hair that's on my nose, and he goes, "Fucking cats." And I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I see him. They're sleuthing around the garage," and he has them like going like that, and I go, "Oh, okay." And he says, "But this one's cute. This one's cute." He's not necessarily a big cat person, though. Let me tell you that he's like
No,
not all
he's
into
not,
it.
and he
I
wanted
know.
to meet this cat before he died, and he never got the chance to meet him because he's just a naughty little cat, but yeah.
Hmm. Well, he did. He did meet him. It's interesting that that's the first thing he brings up, besides Harry back. Okay, and so he's talking about how. Tell me about her. Hold on. I don't want to take my blood pressure. I know you don't because you're naughty yourself. And he says that. That's what he says. Uh-huh. He's like talking about somebody telling me you got to take your blood pressure. You got to go do this. You got to go. And he makes me hear the that thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then he says,
Yeah.
"I don't want to." I'm like, "Oh, all
We
right."
argued every day. I'd come to his house, ask him if he took his blood pressure, how he was feeling that day, did he take his medication, and he would tell me
Shut
no.
up.
Yeah, and I'd make him take his blood pressure and his medicine every day. Every single day. Yeah.
How interesting. So he's like he's trying to. So how do they do that? He's putting me in a memory and he's putting me in an experience that he was having and he's making me hear it all. And he's saying that what? What? So we had spam this morning and he says that he's okay with that. So he's a ham person? What
He's
do
a
you mean?
canned
He
meat person.
Wait, he's a canned beef person. What is that? Tell me. What is that? Oh no. Oh no, I know you're there. Okay, there you
No,
go. You're
canned
back. You're
meat.
coming back.
Like,
Canned meat. Okay, what is that? Yeah, what is canned meat?
yes. Like he used to eat sardines and he would eat like potted meat, which is like chicken from a can and nasty stuff that I would not eat.
How
Here, let me go
funny.
into a different room.
Okay, go, 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 go. Yeah. I mean, it's okay right now. It comes in waves, so we should be good for like another 5 minutes. But keep go go go. Yeah. So he goes through, and I said, so my husband went through, and he like spam ever so often in the morning, like probably like once a month maybe, and I can't stand it. And so he went in and he talked about being with me for breakfast and how he likes this type of stuff, and I'm like,
Yes. Yes, that's who he
yeah.
was. He was poor growing up. He ate all that stuff. That's what he liked.
That's why. Okay, so can I tell you something? Can you realize something with me real quick? Your dad was with me for breakfast.
Oh,
Okay, that was what was going on. And she says, "Oh, so do you have like oatmeal a lot?"
yeah, yeah. I just made yes, I do. And I just made no bake cookies last night, and I used way too much oatmeal. Yes.
He goes like this. I said, "So what does she eat?" He goes, "Oh, you know all that oatmeal and shit. Like, who
Yeah.
needs that?"
Yes, I eat like healthy food, and I used to try to force him to eat healthy. He would not eat healthy. I'd walk in and he'd be
No.
eating fast food and canned meat full of salt.
Uh huh. Yeah, yeah. So he doesn't like your oatmeal and shit, but it's okay. And he says
Yeah.
that this is how funny. I've never had oatmeal brought up in a session. He's talking about how, tell me, but what? Oh, can you tell her I love her? Can you just let her know that I love her? I freaking love her. Who wouldn't love this girl? It's my, and he's saying, maybe I'm biased. And I was like, well, obviously, obviously. And he says that nobody else is going to protect you like him. That's all he keeps saying. He says, but you're the one being protected. So he's essentially saying, thank you for helping him. Thank you for being there. Now it's his job to protect you and make sure that you're okay too.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were best friends. I mean, he was a
I
very
know.
protective dad.
Yeah, because he loves you, and he was just rooting. So you are a sports girl, or you could be a
Yes.
sports girl. Yeah, he
Yes.
just went
I've
woo woo
yes.
woo 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 woo, and he had you
Yeah.
sitting next to him do it. And he says that now I don't know a whole lot of sports teams, so that's going to be really hard for me to like bring out. But he says that what are y'all like next to Rhode Island?
No. Well, we're in Michigan.
Oh, you're in Michigan. Okay, what
Yes.
is the Raiders? Who's the Raiders?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know. Let me look that up really quick because I keep hearing. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look. There's some reason why they keep talking about that. Hold on. Unlocked. Come on. Hold on. Hold on.
What?
Like, how big was he into sports teams for Michigan? Like, pretty
He
good.
like yes, he liked sports.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a screenshot of this thing. It came out on January 13th of 2024. It says Chargers and Raiders, the Raiders team is taking in Michigan's Jim Harbour for head coach.
Yeah.
And I look. Okay, wait, Raiders, and then it says, wait, come here, and then Michigan,
Yeah.
and so there's something. I'll have to look into this more, and I'm gonna find the article and read it. But I'm wondering if he's trying to, like, that just happened. That happened 10 days ago.
Yes, and I had a twin brother, and he was not a sports person, and me and my dad were the ones that watched sports. We'd watch basketball. We would just chill at his house. Rudy, my cat,
Oh,
is listening on
yes.
part of this.
Oh, I love that's what they do. That's why mine's always out because he'll go and he'll try to sit on all of my camera equipment all the time. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just tell you really quick. Yeah, that your head Michigan football coach, it's on foxsports.com, went over to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, we're just going to leave that there. I've never experienced that before. Okay, so let me go back over here. That's not a coincidence, by the way. He's talking about how, tell me, you can vape, go for it. Do it, do it. He says that, well, I used to. I can't do it anymore, though. What? It makes your ADHD feel good. Tell me about him. I'm going to ask him about end of life. Hold on. Emerald green. What are you talking about? Did your mother get married to somebody else?
No, so she's not married, but I have a stepdad that I've gotten pretty close to. Like we were just kind of interacting with each other before my dad died, but we've gotten pretty close since my dad died.
Can I tell you what he said?
What?
He says, and tell her she's a sellout. I said, what are you talking about? And he said her mother. And I said, okay, what up with her mother? And he goes, like engaged or interim relationship. He's talking about the father figure. And I was like, okay. I mean, and I quote, those are the words. And so I'm like, all right. So he's like joking with you. And he's like, I'm glad that you did this, but you're a sellout. So essentially like just knocking at you. And he says that, oh, y'all actually go to like lunch and stuff? Like you
We
can
go
go
shooting. Yeah, we go shooting
Yes.
all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He says that y'all don't sit around the house. He says
No.
you don't sit around the house. It's always going out. And I
Yes,
go,
we
okay.
go shooting a
And
lot.
see, I understand that. And he says that what? Oh, he says AR. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, yes. Is that a thing?
Yes. Yeah, we shoot AR-15s. I actually gave my stepdad one of my dad's AR-15s.
Oh,
Yes.
shut up.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I was just looking at 300 Blackout AR recently.
We were looking at those too. We were looking at those too. Yes.
Like yesterday. Okay. All right. Good job. Can I tell you that is the first time I've ever had that brought up in my brain ever? Okay. And he says that, what? He says, oh, yeah, the gun's about as big as me. I was like, I know, sir. He says that, tell me about you. He says, Amie, now he wants to go to passing. He says, Amie, I was delirious. I said,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah. He says, I didn't know it was up, down, left, right. He says, all of a sudden, it just felt like I was in a dream. And now I'm like, boop. And he says, I saw my daughter, but afterwards trying to fight for my rights. So essentially, maybe he saw you trying to go through and you can't make a case with the hospital. So were you like trying to make a case with the hospital?
I'm in a lawsuit
Shut
right now.
up.
I am in a lawsuit with the hospital and his cardiologist right now. It's still ongoing. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool. Good job. Good job. He says case with the hospital. And I go, okay. And he's talking about that. So it's fighting for his rights. That's what that is.
Yes.
And he says that, tell me, what, bud? Hold on. He says, I don't know if she's going to get anywhere, but if she does, she'll get a fat check. And that's at least better than what I could have ever gotten her. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so like, that's exactly how he said it. He says that, I do my best. I'll do my best. So I think it will end up coming because of something. I don't think it's going to be a negative outcome. And so just wait,
Okay.
just wait, just keep
Yeah.
going. Okay. And she says that, so do they keep putting off the court date? Is he just hiding behind his lawyers and they keep smushing it off, or what's up with that?
Right now, the lawyers say they're still in like they're still trying to go over his medical information, and I really have not heard from them more than a couple times in the last year, and I've been considering switching lawyers. So I'm not
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I've been stressed about it lately.
That's what's going on. He goes like this. He says, lawyers, lawyers. I said, what? He says, nobody can hide behind them. And he's like, oh yeah, they're still in like, essentially uses like the feeling of like counseling. And he says that it may even be that the doctor's lawyers are also pushing this. Hold
His
on.
doctor his doctor knew that he made a big mistake with my dad, and like when we tried to get the medical records and stuff, they didn't want to send them. They waited months to send them. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a mess.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just gonna let you know. Shut up, Dad. Oh my God. Did you end up just like finding this lawyer online?
Yeah, we basically it was like the first lawyer I went to.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you what he just said. He goes, he says, get a new one. I said, why? I said, did they have it like as a good recommendation? He goes, no, it's almost like a Yahtzee. Like you go online and you Google and it's like, boop, I'm going to choose that one. He says, well, he says, maybe you should move on to the next one. I said, because a lot of times when people choose lawyers, it's because like a friend of a friend has had a good experience and stuff like that, or it's a friend of a family. And he's like, no, no. And so I would even say, if you don't get anything like to come of this by June, find a new lawyer.
Yeah, I was just asking him the other night, I like, should I switch lawyers? I was asking him just sitting there in my bedroom thinking, what do I do about this? So yeah, I was asking him about this specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. So June, if you don't hear anything back, get a new one.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good job. Good job. And he says, good. See, he wants to talk. He loves you. And he what? He has you holding the cat and saying happy birthday to me, to you. And he says that, but your birthday's coming up.
Yeah, I have a birthday in March.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the besties. Oh,
I have a
cool.
birthday in
Cool.
March.
Yes. Okay. He goes like this. He has you going happy birth with like the cat's paws to me. Like, so it's y'all. And he says, can you tell her I'll be there? I go, okay, when is it? Did it just happen? He goes, no, boop, boop, which means like it's about to happen, boop, boop, like 2 times or 2 weeks or 2 months. And he says that I want to miss him for the world. He doesn't miss snow. He doesn't miss snow.
He
Not
wasn't
at all.
a fan of he wasn't a fan of snow.
Really? Okay, yeah, there's like 2 camps. It's I love this or I hate this. He's definitely camp I hate this. And he's saying that when what? He's told him to wake up, you sallow bastard. So he's talking about trying to get back into his body, and he's smacking his face with his spirit, I guess, because he doesn't necessarily want to be gone. And he's saying that were you not like with him when he crossed over?
No, so he was in the hospital and they called me at like 2 a.m. and they said, hey, we had to put him on a ventilator. Don't come up here. It's fine. He'll be fine. And then they called 2 hours later and they were like, he's arresting. We can't get him back. You need to come up now. And by the time I got there, it was way too late.
He was already gone. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. That's why he's trying to get back in his body. He goes like this. I said, what do you want to say? He says, like, tell her I heard her. I said, where was she at? Next to you. He goes, no, 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 no. They're all looking at me. He's talking about the doctors and nurses, like, oh, what do we do with this? How does this work? And he's talking about dumbass. So he's talking to them. And he's like, come on, get up. Let's go. Like that. And he's like, can you tell her it's okay?
Yeah, I was there. I mean, his doctors were really shitty for like a year before he
Yeah.
died. He was pretty sick, and his
Yeah.
doctors were pretty shitty. And I used to fight with them when
Good.
he couldn't fight for himself. And it was very stressful after he died because if I would have stayed, I always thought I could have told them what to do, like sit him up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they just could. They didn't really seem like they didn't do enough.
No, no, I don't think they did either. The way he makes me feel is like they had their thumb up their butt, which just means that
Yeah.
they're like doing, nothing.
Yeah.
And he says that was it spring when he died?
He died October, so it was
Oh,
like
fall,
it was fall, yes.
fall. Okay, okay. He's just talking about it like he makes me feel like it's a change in season, like in the, not winter, not summer, not that, but then it's into something beautiful. So for me down here, beautiful is going into spring. Could be fall getting in there, but he says that. Tell me, what? Hold on, come here, come here, come here. What? Why are you talking about your chair? Chair. What happened to his chair that smells?
We just threw it away. We just threw it away. He had a chair that he always sat in his living room, and we just threw it away. Yeah.
He's walking around. I said, what are you doing? He goes, chair. I go, is it here? Is it there? Is it anywhere? And he starts touching this with like almost like the back of it. And he goes, oh, it smells. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, who has it? Is it in our house? He goes, no. And
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
just
where
threw
did
it
it go?
away.
You did. I get it because he's talking about how he can't sit in it anymore, which makes sense. And he says that your furniture is too little. Do you only have like a two-seater couch?
No, I mean, we have pretty nice furniture. It's big.
I know. I know.
We have
Yeah.
pretty nice
Weird.
furniture.
He goes through and he keeps talking about like this. So my couch I have right now, it's nice, but it's like a 28-inch seat, so it's pretty shallow. And I guess maybe he's used to like leaning back or like laying back onto things, and he just keeps making comments like it's not enough to lean back on. So I'm like, maybe it's small. I don't know. We'll have to get more into that. He says, or maybe he's just complaining on how he doesn't have a reclining chair to sit in, and he thinks that
He
everything's
did,
just not good
yes,
enough.
he always had his chair reclined back.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to sit in the living room at my house, we don't have a recliner for him. So there's
It's
no recline.
not. Yes. Okay. So we'll leave that there. But I'm going to tell you it's that. And he says that. What? Hold on. Did you. Scruffy little bastard. So, did you lose a male dog?
No, no, we'd lost two cats in the last month, but
Two
they were both
cats. Scruffy.
female.
They were both female. Okay. He's saying he's calling something a scruffy little bastard. So I was like, for me, bastard's like male, right? That's the only reason I'm saying that. And he's talking about them crossing over. So I'm like, maybe it's a dog. So I bet he's trying to mention cats, but I just don't know. And it would make sense for that term because he doesn't particularly care for cats.
Yeah,
We'll
one of
just
them she was pretty mangy and
She
nasty.
is
Yes,
scruffy. Okay. Okay.
yes.
So we'll leave that there. Sorry, I always hear the term scruffy for dogs. So I was like, what is this? And he says that, tell me one more. Come here. Come here. Wait, so are you a mom?
Mm-mm.
Who is the word? Who has like the, let me see. Is there like a niece or a daughter that is older? It's not you that he would be around.
No, no. So I'm an only child. My other brother died.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think is I reconnected with my best friend lately, and she has a baby that my dad wanted to meet really bad before he died, and I never got the chance to bring the baby. Bring We never
Is it a
brought.
girl?
No, it's a boy.
It's a
And he's
boy. It's a
the
boy.
sweetest little kid.
It's the kid. Okay. So what he keeps doing is he says he brings up that there's it almost felt like it would be like a sister for you or something. And he's talking about watching this. But then he says that he watches the kid or like the baby or whatever this is. And so I'm like, but you don't have a kid. Like, what is that? So I bet he's trying to inconspicuously like bring that up and mention it. And because I've never had a relationship like that before, I've never seen that. So it's hard for me. So I'm reading it as something else. So I'd have to say he's going to go along with that. Hold on.
I write into a little journal to him on my iPad, and I've mentioned before that I wish that we would have had the chance for him to meet her
Because he still does. Yeah. Okay. So he's not. Don't wish it. He meets them. He watches them. It's a whole thing. And that baby, obviously, it's still a baby. Hold on. He's talking about co-sleeping. So baby co-sleeps with mom.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's okay. He goes like this. He says, man, she won't let him off her hip. I said, oh, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, and co-sleeping. Be careful. I watch it. It'll be okay though. I said, all right. And so he's just talking about being about that. Man, as soon as I had my son, I was like, crib, boom, over there. I love you, but
Yeah.
we also had a very small bed at that time. And he's talking about how what did she end up naming the son after like her grandfather or her father? What is that? Do you have any
She
idea?
named him August. I have no idea where she got it from.
August. Okay, interesting. I wonder if there's something to do with the middle name. I said, why are you so attracted to this baby? What's going on? Is it named after you, or like did we have a good relationship? And he goes, no, it's named after something else. It's named after somebody else. He was like, and it's up, which means like maybe father or grandfather or something like that. That's what I was like, oh, I don't know. And he's saying that. Tell me about her. Oh, not. Do you tell your dad see you later?
Yeah. Yeah. I say yes. I say that to my dad all the time. Yes. Yes.
He oh, that's sweet. I'm asking him before because I looked at the time. I have to go in just a second. But I said, so what do you want to say? And he has the iPad thing, but he writes at the very end of it, see you later, Dad. And I go, oh, okay, what does that mean? And he says, oh, she just says, I'm not saying it's always at the end of the letter, but he says, oh, she always says, I'll see you later. I'll see you later. And so he's essentially saying, like, the later is now.
Yeah, yes, and I talk to him a lot, and I usually say, especially right after he died, when I would go to bed at night, I used to talk to him and I would say, "All right, I will see you later. I'll see you soon." Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So he knows. So he's saying it back to you, essentially. Okay. Bring it up. So this is what I want you to do because I have to run to my next session. I told you it wasn't that bad, right?
No.
Was it scary? I know.
Well,
So this is what I want you to do. Take a couple minutes, have a good breather, have a good ugly cry if you can. The other thing is there's gonna maybe a couple things you experience. Number one, you may have a lot of highs and lows, like really happy, really sad, really happy, really sad. There's something about channeling that like your body's trying to re-regulate itself. I don't know
okay.
why. The next thing is you may feel your dad around a lot more than normal. You may also get some really cool dreams as well, and you may start seeing like really interesting signs. So just wait. And then yeah, but the last real thing is that you just need to take a couple moments tonight, and in your heart, not out loud, tell them you love them. That's it.
I will. I will.
Okay. All right. And if you need me, email me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you, my friend.
Bye.